Hello, I'm Nico, and today I'm here with,
George Boutwell.
and what what are you doing here?
Well, I'm an artist. I'm selling my art.
Uh, how 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 long have you been painting?
All my life, I got fired at my last job 41 years ago, and I've been doing this ever since.
What was your last job?
I was a commercial artist for 11 years. 6 of those, I was art director of Texas Highways magazine. That's not where I got fired. I quit there because I was afraid I was going to stay there the rest of my life. And so I had 2 other jobs and started painting on the side and going to little shows. And little shows were bringing in more money than the job. And then I got fired and never looked back. So
So what would you do if you weren't painting?
Uh, I don't really know. It's been so long. I'm not sure I've considered that. I mess around with old classic cars, and we live on a ranch and that sort of thing. But if I wasn't painting, I'd probably be blind because that's.
And how many places do you go to sell your art at?
I work about 50 events a year, one every weekend somewhere in Texas. I used to go nationwide, but I got tired of driving all over the place, and I do better in Texas anyway. So.
So tell me about the book.
Well, after almost 40 years of doing shows, and every now and then I'd get into a conversation with somebody, and they'd say, "Well, you need to write that down. That's a neat story." And so I ended up. It sort of evolved into a little bit of public speaking about my life. It's pretty unique, 40 years on the road doing art shows. And everybody said, oh, you need to write a book. And I got thinking about it, and I've got a background in publishing. That's what I did when I had a job. And so about 5 years ago, I started sitting down and writing. It took me about 3 years to put it together, and then I self-published it. I went ahead and did it all myself. I didn't want somebody to come in there and redo it. I kind of want to do it my way. And we managed to pay the printing bill, and we're in the black on the thing. So it's unique for self-publishing. Most self-publishers lose money, but I have a lot of customers. I keep track of all the people that buy from me and communicate with them through email. And fortunately, they enough of them bought the book that we paid off the printing costs. So now I'm out here trying to share it with other people. It's got a lot of stories in it. Some of them are inspiring, and some of them are funny, but unique to someone that travels for a living. And a lot of people can relate to that, whether they're truck drivers or rodeo people or whatever. It's an interesting lifestyle, and people don't much think of artists as doing that, but a lot of us do.
How many shows? I mean, how many times have you been here?
This is my first time here.
Have you ever been to Crystal Beach before?
I've driven through here, took some pictures of the Bolivar Lighthouse, did a Texas Seacoast calendar several years ago, and I featured that. So I've been through here 2 or 3 times, but someone told me about this, and I happened to have a hole in my schedule, and I thought, well, we'll give it a shot.
So where are you from?
I live at Clifton, Texas, which is up west of Waco, about 30 miles. We live out in the country on a ranch. Grew up in Austin, and we had an old Victorian house there that we restored, and we always said if we could pick it up and put it on top of a hill out in the hill country, that'd be our dream. And children were grown and out of the house, and we found a 2-story Victorian house on top of a hill on a couple hundred acres, and at the time it was cheap, and we said, we're never going to find it again, and so we pulled up stakes and moved to the country and loved every minute of it.
So what's your favorite painting you've ever done?
I'm not sure I can answer that. I love everything I do, and I don't know that I have a favorite, and I've never really specialized. I keep it down to the borders of Texas, and that's about as much as I want to tighten it up. I'm probably ADD, and I've just been able to make it profitable.
How many paintings do you think you have here?
Well, I've got about 20 originals, and then in the framed art, I've probably got 100 framed prints, and in the unframed, I've probably got 300.
Do you reprint your work over and over?
I publish all my own work. I print them right in my studio on my own equipment, and publish all of my medium to large pieces and none of my small ones. But I've published my work for over 40 years. And couldn't have made a living if I hadn't.
So do you take any special requests or anything?
Actually, I don't do any commission work. I gave that up about 30 years ago. For some reason, when somebody tells me what to do, there's enough rebel in me, I don't want to do it, and so I just stopped doing it.
Isn't that how most artists are?
Yep.
When someone tells you what to paint, you don't want to do that.
Right, it just takes all the fun out of it. You know, it's the discovery and the idea that flashes and, you know, the image that I see that gets me all excited, and somehow looking through someone else's eyes just never has worked out very well.
All right, thanks for the interview.
Okay, appreciate it. Hope you can use some of it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.